Welcome back. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad you found me. My name is Jess, and this is Michigan Crime Time. I am not an attorney. I am not putting forth any legal advice, nor am I putting out any legal conclusions. All comments are my opinion, and all persons are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. We do have merch in the merch shop. The link is down in the description. On that note, we are actually headed over to Magistrate Nelson in 14B doing your weekend arraignments. So this case, I am going to give you guys a trigger warning. It does deal with DV, so if that bothers you, please don't watch this video. And on that note, let's get on over to the courtroom.
My name is Jack Saunders.
Thank you. Just a moment. Field State of Michigan versus Jack Saunders, 2310647, alleging that on March 11th, 2023, Ypsilanti Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, Ann Arbor City, County, Washtenaw, State of Michigan, at Drive, you did upon the resident or former resident household and or an individual whom you have or had a dating relationship, being charged a second offense based upon a prior conviction September 26, 2012 in the First District Court as a misdemeanor carrying a maximum penalty convicted of up to 1 year in jail, a $1,000 fine, plus court costs for both. Do you understand that?
Do.
I'm sorry?
I do, yes, sir, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. Were you able to review the advice of rights form this morning?
Yes.
Any question with regard to your rights?
No, not at all.
Court has entered a not guilty plea on your behalf. Do the people want to address bond?
Judge, we did ask for a surety bond in this case. The only reason why is because the police were called out twice to his residence that night. He has 15 prior DV contacts with the same victim over the course of the past 2 to 3 years. And they keep getting dismissed because the victim doesn't come to court. So I am highly concerned about their volatile relationship. And I just want to make sure that he has somewhere to go that's not at that residence. I don't know if he's employed or what's going on with them, but I was asking for a surety bond under those circumstances.
Okay, so normally I don't interrupt videos like this. It's not my style, but I do feel that I need to do a little explaining. I actually was a domestic violence investigator and advocate for a county in Michigan, way actually back in the day, a long time ago. And I have to say that this occurrence, or this issue, is actually very common, where men are, people are arrested for suspicion of domestic violence or accusations of domestic violence, and then the cases actually go nowhere because the victim does not participate. In Michigan, though, they actually wrote the laws so that it is the county or the state that is in charge of prosecution, and they can go forward without the victim, although it does make it extremely difficult. But it's a very common thing that we see in domestic violence. There's a cycle of domestic violence, and one of the things is love bombing, and the baby, I promise I'll change as soon as they have contact. I promise it won't happen again. Just take me back. Let me, let's finish or pick up where we left off. So that's honestly not all that surprising that it does happen, although it does sound like Miss Blanche is going to proceed with these DV charges, whether or not the victim cooperates at this point, just based on kind of what she's saying or how she's saying, basically how she's saying her mannerisms. I have a feeling that she's probably going to go ahead and go through with that. So, yes, I just want to explain that real quick. Kind of, that's not uncommon. It doesn't mean that, he necessarily is innocent. It just means that he was able to convince his partner to not cooperate.
We did discuss if he has another place to go. He did not. He says he has no other place to stay. I did mention the Delana Center. He stated he's not comfortable going there. He is not currently on probation or parole and does not have any other pending cases and no holds in any other counties.
Thank you.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Well, your attorney's speaking for you. It's usually best that you let her do your speaking, but you can ask her if she'd like you to say anything.
Well, yeah, apparently the assistant district attorney has mentioned that I got 15 priors for this.
No, what she
They've all been
said.
dismissed.
So
Yeah.
I understand the meaning of all that. I don't want to get into
Sorry.
what may or may not happen in the
Yeah,
past.
that's not my fault, believe me.
Okay. Made a few notes. I'll tell you what the next in just a second. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have a medical marijuana card, sir?
No, sir.
You own any firearms?
No, sir.
Okay. Condition of bond is you're not to use or possess alcohol, illegal drugs, or marijuana. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing. You're not to leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. You are not to possess or purchase a firearm, ammunition, or other dangerous weapon. You are not to commit any assaultive, terrorizing, frightening, intimidating, threatening, harassing, molesting, or stalking behavior towards any individual. You're not to have contact with the alleged victim of this matter, identified as Pamela Wolkowski. This means absolutely no contact, no indirect contact through family or friends, no text message, email, social network posting, telephone contact, or any contact of any sort. You understand that?
I do.
You're not to go to the 2910 Cascade Drive address. You may return there to collect personal belongings, but you do have to have a police officer with you on what's called a civil standby. So if you need to collect personal belongings, contact the Ann Arbor City Police Department and request a civil standby. They'll walk you through the process to get that done. You're not to violate any criminal laws. You will need to appear to all court hearings and other places as directed by the court. Do you have any questions with regard to these conditions?
No, sir.
These conditions will be placed into what is called the Law Enforcement Information Network, meaning should you come into contact with the police, they will have access to that information. Should they witness or suspect a bond violation, you'd be arrested for violating bond. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
To assure there's no use of or monitor for no use of drugs, alcohol, or marijuana, you'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing. You'll need to submit your first drug test within 24 hours release from the jail at Community Corrections. Do you know where Community Corrections is located?
Yes.
You'll recall you'll need $12 in photo ID to drug test. Okay. All right. To assure the victim's safety, the court also is going to order a GPS tether with an exclusion zone of the.
Yeah, you might as well just leave me here. I only have $12 for that, and I'm not going to put a GPS. You might as well just leave me here.
Okay, it's your choice.
I'm going to get dismissed because that didn't happen. All right, I'm just going to tell you like it is. It did not happen. This
Okay.
is all false.
All right, let your attorney speak for you. Let me finish up what I have to do here. All right, GPS tether prior to release. Pre-trial set for March 15th, 9 a.m. Bond set amount of $25,000. Personal recognizance bond, subject to conditions placed on the record. So if you do get the GPS tether, you can be released on that personal bond. If you fail to appear for drug testing, fail to appear for court, violate a bond condition, a bench warrant would issue for your arrest, and your bond would start at $25,000. Do you understand that?
I understand the wrong person's in jail. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, have a good day, sir. Thank you. You can tell him you're done.
Yep.
Well, who would you guys think of that guy? He was a little, I can't recall very many people saying, keep me in here, judge. You know, I'm just going to stay here in jail. Yeah, he's a character. I am going to try and follow this case through as much as I possibly can. So hopefully this will be resolved down the road. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share my videos. And again, if you want to further support me, in the description is the link for memberships to join my circle of friends. And that is just one crazy guy that apparently doesn't want to leave jail, which, okay. So, Shima Butch, big thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time.